Secretary of Education Catherine. My name is Eric McAvoy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Today I'll be presenting to you, does learning a musical instrument make you more successful in life? In a word, the answer is yes. But today I will explain why that answer is yes. Benefits of learning a musical instrument. Learning a musical instrument creates unique axon pathways in the brain. Axon pathways are what determine overall intelligence of someone. The more axon pathways you have, the smarter you are. Say, associating, everyone knows who George Washington is. He was our first president and general during the Revolutionary War. You can also associate George Washington with apple trees, since he cut down his father's apple tree, or with walruses, since he had a fake set of teeth made from walrus ivory. Having these different axon pathways improve your overall intelligence. And then, learning an instrument can also make you a happier person, which in turn can increase your lifespan. Learning an instrument builds a sense of community. This is especially important in middle schoolers, where cliques start to form, friends may become distant who were once very close. Being part of an orchestra, which includes many members, sometimes upwards of 100 or 200 members, though significantly smaller in schools, probably about 30 members, introduces people who have the same music taste and are of a like mind. Often students will create friends within their own sections, viola, violin, cello, double bass, and within the orchestra as a whole. And then music programs in schools are especially common in children who are ages 8 through 18. Learning about music enhances creativity. For millions of people all across the globe, music is one of the highest outlets of creativity and emotion. It also strikes people with inspiration, increasing brain efficiency and helps when brainstorming. Many of us listen to music while we're doing our homework. It helps us think better and helps us stay more focused on tasks. People such as artists, painters, architects, engineers listen to music for inspiration and just to help them occupy the time when working on, say, an architectural draft of a building. It can be a rather dry activity. It's a great hobby. Learning an instrument is a very healthy hobby as opposed to something like video games, lounging around like a couch potato, or eating hot dogs all day. Music, along with reading, improves the brain while you're having fun. And then when you have a hobby like music, you often meet other musicians. And it's also a great way to make friends through that hobby. Music improves crucial elements in life skills. Learning an instrument teaches discipline, perseverance, and the art of practice. Now this is especially important in grade school children who may get lazy with homework and not do something, or not do it. Music provides discipline to do homework. When you have to sit there for 2 hours, or at the university 6 hours practicing the same piece of music, can be a very tedious and laborious task. But sitting there and practicing the same piece of music for 6 hours does teach useful life skills. Music also releases endorphins, which helps the body stay in balance. And these endorphins improve happiness. And learning an instrument also increases memory. Now there are quite a few famous and very successful musicians. I'd like to name just a few. The first of which is Pythagoras. Everyone knows the ancient Greek philosopher for his Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. What many people don't know him for is Pythagorean tuning. He was the first to discover that all musical notes are based off mathematic ratios, and he invented the system of tuning called Pythagorean tuning. This system of tuning was in use for over 2,000 years before their more modern methods of tuning invented. Then Galileo Galilei. Everyone knows him from discovering the Jovian moons of Jupiter, or the Galilean moons of Jupiter, the occult of Venus around the sun, and providing the strongest evidence for a heliocentric solar system. Now Galileo's father, Vincenzo Galilei, was an Italian composer, lutenist, and music theorist. His father was one of the most significant Italian contributors in music, bridging the gap from the Renaissance to the Baroque eras. Galileo himself also learned the lute, and it's been suggested that through his learning of the lute, he became more interested in the practical aspects of mathematics, not just the theoretical. And then Leonardo da Vinci. We mostly know him from painting the Mona Lisa, Last Supper, and his innumerable inventions. Another one of Leonardo da Vinci's inventions, though lesser known, is the viola organista. The viola organista is an instrument that combines a keyboard with an organ and a viola da gamba. It is widely credited as the first synthesizer 500 years before electronics. And Leonardo da Vinci has also been suggested as the smartest man who ever lived. Musician, inventor, smartest man ever. Leonardo. And finally, Albert Einstein. Before going to physics and writing his famous E=mc² equation, Albert Einstein trained to be a violinist, and he was still known throughout his career when he was frustrated with an equation to take a break and play the violin. It helped him become more focused, remain calmer, and inspired him to get back into his mathematics. Music makes an all-around better you. Music improves reading, writing, and communication skills. It exposes you to cultural history, relieves stress, creates a sense of achievement, boosts listening skills, and elevates confidence in stage fright. Many of these are applicable in the professional work environment. When presenting a PowerPoint or a presentation to a boss at a business meeting, one can often get very frightened. So with music elevating confidence, reducing stage fright, that'd be very useful. And since music reduces stress, that's something that all of us could use. That's my presentation.
Well done.
Thank you.
One quick question for you. How would you suggest that we put these ideas of yours into a process, into the national school system?
I propose that we have a national standard for music education such as we do for math and English. Students could start out young and work their way up from there.
All right. About what age do you think that we should have kids start in this program?
I think age 8 would be acceptable. At that age, they have enough discipline to learn an instrument, and they'd be mature enough to take care of it. A good instrument to start on would be the recorder. These are very good instruments. They're solid, they're hard to break, they cost only about $1 a piece, and it's very easy to get a good sound, and you don't want the student to be frustrated if they can't get a good sound from the instrument when they're just starting. In equipping an entire student populace with recorders, there are 1,000 students, so it'll be $1,000 to do that. It's an easy instrument to get them introduced on.
All right. Sounds like a very good idea. Let's see. What else would you say that could be improved with this idea of yours? About how many teachers would you say would we have start out with the first school in this program?
Well, just one teacher for very young students. But as they get older, they can progress into more complex instruments such as violin, viola, double bass, cello, the standard orchestral instruments or band instruments, drums, trombone, trumpet, flute, and these would require different teachers who know different specialties. So as the students would progress, get into more complex instruments, there would need to be more teachers. But a school with a student populace of about 3,000 would be fine with about 5 or so music teachers for all the students. And as they get older, they can go into more complex instruments. That's the one I mentioned. They'd be more mature to handle these instruments. You don't want an 8-year-old starting out on a $500 cello, but someone who's in high school, who's 14 or 13, they'd be more responsible to handle these instruments.
All right. Sounds like an excellent idea.
I think so too.
All right. Very nice talking to you. Well done presentation.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting with you.
You too.